Hi, I'm Wayne Duvenage from OUTA. This is our weekly wrap. It's the 26th of September. Sure, October, November, December, 1 quarter left. And this is silly season. This is crunch time these next couple of months. So let's see what unfolds. What is unfolding, though, is at the Madlanga Commission is very interesting. And I guess what is crystallizing and making very clear to us is that there is political interference in the police. Now, I think we've all known that. We all speculate that. But what's beautiful about this commission is that it is articulating it. It is making it very clear. And this is the problem in this country, is that the politicians do interfere with the administration of the country, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't. There's a separation of powers there. They should not be getting involved. They should not be, making sure that the systems turn the blind eye to the corruption that takes place, to the contracts that flow. The political killings task team was doing its work. How is it possible that ministers can get involved in making those decisions, or at least influencing them? And so we've seen this. It's rife throughout government. Politicians at the highest level are making sure that their networks are in place to protect people that have interest in siphoning your and my tax money out of the system. Imagine if every cent went to where it should go. What amazing country this would be. And unfortunately, we are broken. We are not growing. And this is all as a result of political interference, lack of political will, and it's not getting any better. It's been getting worse, actually, since state capture years. And we have to arrest this. And these discussions and this commission is going to enable a lot of what happens going forward. Well, we hope, because we hear that commissions don't necessarily, they're not necessarily the panacea to implementation of good governance. But it does heighten awareness, and it does create the necessary heat in the kitchen to change things. So let's make sure that this commission produces the results that we need. What is also happening, and what has started to gain momentum now, I think it's electioneering for the local elections. Local elections, municipal elections, take place in about 14 months from now, November next year. It might seem a long way off, but there's going to be a lot of electioneering taking place. And as we know, we've just seen the city of Joburg's mayoral candidate from the DA, Helen Zille, doing a lot of media engagements out there, some of them sparking a lot of controversy. I think what will be very interesting is and this is where really what I'd like to see, is how is the ANC going to try and convince the electorate to vote for the ANC in the next local elections, certainly here in Johannesburg. I mean, what would you say as the mayoral candidate for the ANC for Joburg next year? Give us another chance. Yes, we've messed up, but this time we're going to fix things. Wow. I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting. So we're in for a long haul, a good year or so of significant electioneering from the political parties. But one thing we do know is that we need change. We have to have change. We cannot continue in the way we have been doing in the city of Joburg. More stuff that created headlines this week. Mashatile's multi-million rand mansions. Nice bit of alliteration there. This is just absolute madness. The lack of transparency on, does he own these houses? Doesn't he? Has he declared them? Are they his son-in-laws? Are these just family mansions? Where does this money come from? Think about it. What Mashatile earns and his assets, and this goes for many politicians, by the way, many people in the connected corridors of power. If you did a lifestyle audit based on their salaries and what they own over the last decade, you would see that there's no way, other than they've all got mega wealthy grandparents and family members who've left them millions, this gain in their wealth has been through corruption, nothing else. And it is sick, quite frankly. And so what we need is transparency, and we need accountability. And we've got to keep the heat on and applying that pressure so that we can see that day happen. sooner rather than later. But this is a journey. So let's watch what happens and how Mashatile is able to explain himself out of these multi-million rand mansions that he owns or supposedly owns. Just a couple of other things that have unfolded on our front is the city of Joburg CCTV camera issue. Well, they have rescinded their decision, but now we're off to court to ensure that there's a costs order against them and it is applied. Why they don't meet with us and just resolve this quite quickly, it's quite strange. So they're going to waste your and my tax money to go and challenge us in court. It's an unopposed matter. They haven't even opposed it, but yeah, here we go. Again, more money wasted, as is happening potentially on the e-tolls matter. I spoke about it last week. We've had to go to court now to compel the SANRAL and the government to finalize this e-toll outstanding invoice matter. It's been hanging in the air for 6 years. But fortunately this week we did get an indication from SANRAL that they are happy to mediate before we go to court. Well, that's good. That's very necessary, and so let's see where that takes us, and hopefully the mediation will stave off the need to waste more taxpayers' money in court and litigation, and we'll bring you up to speed on that. More concerns around the sheriff's office now for us. There's a massive backlog. We're trying to file papers. Well, we have filed papers on a very interesting case that we are going to tell you more about in time to come. It's a lacuna in the law with regards to government directors on government boards that escape the noose or the net of the Companies Act when it comes to delinquency of those directors on various government boards. So we'll tell you more about that. It's a very interesting case. But in order to get this advancing, in order to inform the public more about this, we wait for the sheriff to tell us that the papers have been delivered. So while the papers are filed in court, we try and get the papers delivered to the various our opponents in this matter, and it takes weeks now, and it should be able to go quite quickly. And what we've learned is there's a massive backlog in the sheriff's office. So this is strange. It's another worry about the criminal justice system and how it has become belabored through inefficiencies, and really it's just one part of the puzzle in the whole problem of an ineffective criminal justice system. I'll end it there, and just to say, go Bokke. Hope you have a good weekend. This is Heritage Week. This has been a great Heritage Day, and I think for us at OUTA, it certainly does remind us of our diversity and how united we are as a nation, or far more so than our politicians would like us to believe and think that we are, but we are. I can assure you that. Let's not let them tell us that we aren't, and let's just get on with our lives. Let's get on with building this country, and let's get on with tackling corruption meaningfully and as strongly as we can. Have a great weekend. Cheers.